Hello and welcome back to Space Engineers. In today's video, we'll look at another large block exploration ship. This one that I'm currently standing on is called the Dawnstrider, which is this lovely thing over here. So this is a early game large block ship that's built for, well, getting yourself off a planet and into space and exploring. It only features a assembler on this, so if you want to have a refinery, you will need to find a place to put it on this. There are plenty of places where you can slot it in. And of course, you do not have a survival kit, you do not have a medical bay, so you will need to find a place for one of them if you need it. But anyway, pressing F10, find this in the spawn menu. The Dawnstrider is 521 large blocks, using a lot of the DLC packs. Got one hell of a lot of information about it on the Steam Workshop page, such as the scripts it's using, which is the automatic LCD screen script. We've got all of its features, so there is, it says it's an early game build, and we do have the specifications right below there, as well as all the components it uses. So giving this thing a thumbs up, move around towards the very front, we'll have a quick look around the outside, a quick tour of the interior because it does have a fairly big interior compared to other ships of a similar size, then I think we'll just slam it into an asteroid instead of blowing it up with a nuclear warhead. So at the very front, this is what we get, where right in the middle what we can see is a bunch of window blocks appear inside at our bridge. We can clearly see our flight seat to fly this thing around, we see some programmable blocks in the background which features the automatic LCD screen script, as well as a transparent LCD screen telling you all the important information about everything going on with your ship. To the left and right of that, we can see some hydrogen thrusters help slow this thing down. Hydrogen thrusters are one of two thrusters that appear in the ship, the other is atmospheric, so we are good for both space and on a planet. Then we can see a little logo right there with a little pink fist. Moving around onto the side, we can see a bunch of lovely blue and grey blocks that make up the main body of the ship. And as we have to move all the way around, there's a column that comes across to two immotion blocks. Then we can see some more hydrogen thrusters on the top and the bottom to move us around while in space. Over to this section and putting my light on, we can see a sneaky gyroscope as well as a curved conveyor. There's some hazard skin that goes across to a window block where we can clearly see inside of our living quarters. This side is our kitchen bay where you can just about make out the kitchen block on that side. There's your table to eat your food and there should be a locker right behind it. On the opposite side, it's going to be a little sitting bay where our toilets are sitting and we can see that lovely full block air vent just spinning around in the background. Anyway, over here next to this shiny block, we've got a ladder that comes up to some catwalks. This is our doorway in and out. We've got a double door for an airlock, and it is on a time block closed after 5 seconds. There's one on the opposite side, so it doesn't matter which side you get into. And well, they both go to the same junction. Over to this section, a large atmospheric thruster for when you're on a planet. A couple more hydrogen thrusters for your left and right. Then at the very back is two large hydrogen thrusters that should give you a nice little speed while scooting around in space. And here it is on the very back. So you have to move all the way up and look down at it. That's how it's been connected up. You see some O2H2 generators to make sure you've got plenty of fuel. Fly this thing around for a nice long time. There's both of our large atmospheric thrusters. Moving all the way along, putting off my light for the moment. Got a catwalk right next to a cargo container, which has one of the new access panels on the front of it, so you can open it up and access it in a very fancy way. Over to there, we can see our curved conveyors onto our covered conveyors. It comes all the way across to this section where we've got, once again, some O2H2 generators that move all the way across to some oxygen tanks, right next to some more hydrogen thrusters. There's some fancy pipe blocks to make a little hole that goes all the way down. It allows you to peer inside the ship, doesn't go all the way through, because right over to this section is a window block where we're now on the inside of the ship. Pulling away, moving towards the front there, that's where I'm standing. Another hazard skin, some corrugated black skin blocks. Then towards the front there we go. Moving all the way down underneath it, past our bridge, putting my light on for the moment. Guess what? More hydrogen thrusters. And over to this section, we should be able to make out some magnetic plates. Then just behind that, we do have a very sneaky sensor. So we do have a control block on this, which will make it so when you go a certain distance below the ground, you'll get some flashing lights in the cockpit to signal that you are getting close to the ground and you should really slow down or risk damaging the vehicle. Over to there is our connector next to some hazard skin, once again some pipe walls. That is our camera to help dock this thing up. There's a little view so we can see inside. Then moving all the way towards the back, there's some hydrogen engines, and there's our large hydrogen thrusters at the very back. And there we go. That's a very brief look around the outside of the Dawnstrider. It looks bloody fantastic for how it's all been set up. It's a very well thought out design that should last you a nice long time in survival mode. Like I said at the start of the video, it does not feature a refinery of any kind, so you will need to have that on this if you want to have full functionality. As it stands, and what you can use it for, is still very useful at the end of the day. So what I can do now is just grab hold of my character, we now come up to those catwalks, then head on inside. So coming all the way down to here, plopping myself down, opening up this, and walking inside. So this is our airlock, where I shouldn't really close the door because it is on a timer. But I can open up this. Oh, there we go, that was the timer kicking in. Now turn around, face it. After 5 seconds, it'll then close up. And well, seal it off. But to my right, you can see the lovely air vent, the full block fan air vent, which I do absolutely love how it's all been designed. Actually sitting behind a catwalk, just make sure you've got plenty of oxygen in here. But we do have a secondary one up here, just in case you need it. Turning around, what we get in the middle of the room is a cargo container for the quick access to drop things in and out if you do want to use one on the outside. There's our airlock for the opposite side. That way we'll go towards the front where our bridge is and living quarters. That'll go towards our back, and that's where we're going to head right now. Just walking around here, there's our lovely time block. Here is another desk block in front of our cargo container. Round to this section is a window where we can just about make out a few things inside there. But we're just going to walk all the way around. Over to this section, we've got a bunch of cargo containers, a battery, another full block air vent. Up there's our pipe blocks. In there, you're just about to see outside. Yes, on the opposite side, exact same setup. We'll just walk all the way around, past this section once again. Now we can head towards the front. So past our airlocks into this section, this is your living area where we've got a locker on one side and a vending machine on the opposite, and this is one of the places where you can just strip these out and replace with say an assembler or a survivor kit if you wanted to. You say just remove that, plop one in place, and it should be good to go. But yes, behind this is our kitchen area with our kitchen block. There's your table to eat your food. Behind there is your locker to, well, store a few bits and bobs. Then onto the opposite side, got a little table, little locker, and there is your toilet. We come around to here, into this section, and this will take us towards the bridge that we saw at the very front. So we come past some batteries, we look up at that section we saw just a second ago with our pipe blocks, and there is our LCD screen telling us our batteries, our output, our input, and our fuel. But to the left we've got a locker, to the right we've got a programmable block which features the automatic LCD screen script, telling us our ship overview and our button panel, which is this one round here. So this will control a few things and it will automatically update as we change them. So say I want to disable the O2HU generators, I can now move across to that, press that, then after a short delay it will then update, and now it says inactive. Pressing it again, it'll then activate and update the panel. So there we go. Yes, we've got our hydrogen engines on and off, our batteries to auto recharge. There's our O2HU generator to turn that on and off, and there is our programmable block to turn that on and off in case you don't need it. Yes, turning towards the front there, we've got our LCD screen, there's our flight seat, where it says our safe weight in 1G is 1,000 tons. Moving away from there, because we don't have a gravity generator, so I do get stuck on a few things. Walking around to here, there's one of our hydrogen thrusters behind that window panel. Onto the opposite side, exact same thing. And then without further ado, time to hop into the seat, first person view. This is a view we get all the way around us, so we get a nice view. It is a little compromised on the top and the bottom, but luckily we do have enough places around it to slap some cameras if you need a better view all the way around this. But as for controls, we only got one panel, but number one's going to be for our hydrogen thrusters all the way around the ship to turn it on and off. Number two is for our atmospheric thrusters to do the same all the way around the ship. Number three is for our batteries to auto recharge. Number five is for our hydrogen engines on and off. Number 6 for our hydrogen tanks to stop power on and off, number 7 for our connector underneath, and number 9 for a camera right next to it to help dock it up. And there we go with the controls. So now what we can do is just test fly this around, we'll head on over to an asteroid, crash it into that, and I think that'll be that. No need for a nuke today, I'll save that for another video. So moving forwards, this is what we get. We've got some nice speed thanks to 2 hydrogen thrusters and a back, and we are exceptionally fast with 2 of them. Come to a stop, we are very slow compared to moving forwards, but it's still good at the end of the day. And we do have plenty of gyroscope control, so we can do a 180, stop ourselves a bit quicker, if that's what we need. In fact, I'll do that one more time, boost all the way forwards, 180, all the way around, and now we can boost forwards, and that's a lot quicker. So then you come to a stop, moving left, and move right, some nice speed with that, moving down, and then moving up, again, some nice speed all the way around this. As you saw from the 180, we've got plenty of control over this, a nice lot of weight on it, a nice lot of meat to make it feel like a large ship, but it's not too unresponsive, it's not too floaty, and it certainly suits this size of ship. But now what we can do to end this video is crash full speed into an asteroid, and I think I'll do what I did last time, put the camera all the way over there, we can just watch it plow into it. And here we go, I'm now facing the asteroid, any second now the ship is going to plow straight into it, and that'll be the end of the Dawn Strider. And here it comes, there goes the shadow straight to the side there, and that was one hell of a lot of destruction. What on earth happened there? Let me put on my light. That was unusual for a crash. It sort of just got absorbed by the asteroid, barely any of it is remaining, coming all the way up to it, but all the way down to the connection point on the top, there's a cargo container, there is where the airlock would be sitting on both sides, And on the inside, yeah, there's not really too much remaining, but it sounds like we've got our hydrogen engine still. This sounds like we've still got plenty of stuff to actually use it, so you could salvage it at the end of the day. But I consider that a fantastic crash for that poor little ship. But yes, that is that for the Dawnstrider. It's a lovely ship to use in survival mode if you want to have something easy to build and easy to build off if you want to upgrade it in your journeys. Once again, it only has an assembler, it doesn't have a survival kit or a refinery, so you will need to place one of them on there if you need it, and it has no weapons, so you will need to put some turrets on there or a gun if you want a bit of defense. So there'll be a link to it in the description below if you do wish to download and play around with it yourself. Highly recommend you do, and I'll be back with another video some point soon. Bye bye.